Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Zach, founder of Blegh Coffee Co. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated Crew? Today on this episode, we're joined by Zach of Blegh Coffee. Blech. Do you have competitions to see who can do the best?
Actually, we have one running right now. So when this airs, by the time this is airing, it will be up and running. We are giving away a free year's worth of coffee. Every 2 weeks, we'll send you a fresh bag or two, depending on if we have a new coffee or not. We're probably going to end up adding in, like a hoodie and jogger combo, because this is some serious stuff. We're really hoping that the community will rally behind us. We got some really big names. Abiotic John did the guitar, and then Kalen Drums did the drum track for it. So we're already hooked up for success. These guys are huge on the scene, so we're really excited. They wrote something nasty. John was going to start writing it out, and Kalen was like, give me something like Kubla Khan-ish. I want beat down. And we're both like, yeah. So he just went right at it. And yeah, dude, it's brutal. It's going to be fun. So yeah, what we're going to do is let that go for a month and a half. We're hoping, some of our friends and bands are going to join in, but we really want everybody to feel included by this. I don't care if you have to do it off your phone. I don't care if you have to, you got a little recording studio in your house. I don't care what it is. Just get it out there, man. I've been listening to metal since, black metal was huge again, and the shittier the quarter, the better. So, I can pick through. But we're really excited. We're joined by some really cool team, and we're expecting some big things. So y'all bring your A game, guys.
That's right. Turn up the heat, get your blech out, and practice your gutter rolls. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, make sure you keep that off camera, that blech off camera. Don't be getting that in frame.
Yeah, you want to do the Will Ramos. He's like the king of it, right?
Oh yeah, man. His vocal range is really good. Anybody in Project Vengeance, honestly, is when they made that heater of that track that just came out yesterday.
I haven't even listened to it yet, but I saw the promo.
Ooh, man, because it's got all my favorites, like Taylor from Left to Suffer, bro, that guy's a monster, and he's
that's some Georgia,
so
bullshit
funny.
right there. Left to Suffer.
Yeah, have you seen their when they're on tour and stuff like that, kind of behind the scenes type stuff? You need to go watch some of that. They're so they're so funny.
Well, let's talk about, before we get too deep in, we should say what we're drinking. What do you have going on your side?
I got my Guji, man. I got my Ethiopian Guji. It's a light roast. I really tried to focus on the fruit forward aspect that you get from a lot of Ethiopians. I feel like a lot of people have been getting more delicate, and that's great. Getting the florals out of it, and really trying to bring out that soft background, which I think we've accomplished. You'll taste a little bit of black tea-ish, jasmine tea-ish flavor in the background. But yeah, it's that old school Ethiopian fruit bomb that everybody loves.
Yes, it is. I will attest. I have a bag. I've made countless cups, different styles, different genres, we'll say, of coffees. Espresso tonics, affogatos, like we were talking earlier. On the AeroPress espresso, super, super punchy, berry, fruit forward, which is awesome. Yeah. And then on the V60, you can really get super, super clean, like some of the black tea, but still a lot of that nice berry. I'm a fucking insane person when it comes to coffee. So the funkier, the fermentier, the better.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate that fruit forward, punchy taste. Especially when it comes to that espresso style. If I see a coffee shop, because you were saying, it pisses you off earlier when there's only one blend on espresso.
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah. It's annoying because it's
annoying.
we have so many options now. So when there's a lot of shops here that still don't do it, but when I find a
Yeah.
shop here that's like we've got a single origin espresso, I'll tag one on. I'll do
Yeah.
an FYTC, a fuck you to coffee moment, and I'll get an espresso and a drip
Yep.
because
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Make yourself a little deconstructed red eye.
that's it. That's it.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
we're insane, but we're bougie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I grew up near Napa and everything like that. So this is like even our like, then being part of that, it's near the Emerald Triangle. It's near we got a lot of bougie stuff here, a lot of bougie intoxicants. We're very chef's kiss about what we do to get us fucked up here. Yeah.
So yeah, I really do love the Blegh that I've been able to drink so far.
Nice.
And we'll dig more into the idea behind the coffee for sure. But I'm drinking the Hacienda Sonora from Traffic, Montreal, one of my favorite roasters from Montreal. This is it's a natural geisha. It has strawberry, mango, and passion fruit. Very, very forward on the strawberry, but a bit more of that that sweetness of the mango comes through.
Yeah, and the pluckiness of the passion fruit.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Not crazy sour like what you would expect from a natural. But that I think the geisha balances because geishas are historically more delicate. Like
yep, way more floral than anything. Yeah,
thinking man's coffee.
Thinking man's prog metal of coffee.
This is like the Rush.
Thinking man's
the animals as leaders of coffee right here.
Right, the animals. the Dream Theater. The Dream Theater of coffee.
Yeah, this is the Mike Portnoy of
right.
coffee.
The Mike. Guy's a legend, though. Come on.
By the way, his son is the drummer for Code Orange.
No way.
Yeah, so Jamie was playing drums and doing vocals. Now Jamie's on vocals only, and it's Mike Portnoy's son on drums.
That's so sick.
Fucking monster.
Yeah. How do you think Mike feels about that? Going from like beautiful, like just beautifully structured, thought out music to go into something like just beat out as Code Orange. Like I bet you there was a little resistance. Like I'm sure, being a musician, especially, seeing your son do so big, it was a very proud moment. But I wonder if in his head he's like, taught you since you were like, couldn't even walk, and this is how what you fucking play? Like
classically trained.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like can step on stage with any prog band and just rip them to shreds and play some Code Orange.
But I just saw them at Outbreak, and
it was, man, I'm sure that was insane,
phenomenal. Like probably one of the best sets of the weekend. And you can like what I like about them is it is very violent, very heavy, a bit chaotic, but it's all intentional. So in the same way that like a Dream Theater is extremely intentional in how they write and the change ups and things, I would say Code Orange approaches their writing and like the samples and the sounds and the things that they're using.
Yeah, they're very tight. You can hear it very, very tight. It's like what the DIY like pop punk scene kind of turned into. Like I don't know what happened with this band afterwards, and I know it's kind of like a sore spot for most people, but I can't, like, more like janky, it's like they sound like loose as shit, but it's so tight at the same time because they have like more jazz inspired musicians in it and stuff. It's really cool. I would say like Code Orange, you could definitely hear it and stuff. To the untrained ear, it's just hardcore, but for people who knows what's going on, it's like, oh, whoa, they set things, they place things nicely.
There's some oh shit moments in there.
Yeah. They let you know that, like just because we're a hardcore band doesn't mean we're all about the breakdown. Like they put enough care into everything else as well.
Yeah. Great band. Little tangent there, but noteworthy.
Yeah, no, I love it.
What is your there's a question that I'm trying to get rolling for my coffee peoples.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, how do you brew?
AeroPress is my love. My absolute love. It makes me feel like a mad scientist. You can do anything, like I rival any espresso from a cafe downtown. Now I'm not saying, hey, if you're sitting out there slanging on a La Mazzarco or a Slayer or something like that, like, yeah, you can probably kick my ass. But for talking about these super automatics that are in cafes, it's, you can do anything with it. Cold brew, which I'm not really a fan of. But
I just touching on that. I was just on another podcast that came out on Friday, and I had we were talking about cold brew, and I was like, I'm a cold brew hater, and we had to
Yeah.
talk about why cold brew in the coffee world is looked down upon.
Well, I mean, okay, so I'll tell you this. I will drink a nitro. I love the feel and the impact that a nitro can give you. But if I have the choice to do, like, if they're like, hey, we have a single origin ice, there's no contest. Because,
No
I mean,
contest.
cold brew, unless it is nitro, unless you're able to, like, basically reshape those flavonoids, whatever happens in that magical process. Sorry, extreme coffee nerds, if I just horribly offended you. It really kind of helps bring that flavor back. But if you don't, it's kind of like wet dog hair almost.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of the flavor profile that just comes out naturally, like almost every single time, unless you have like, and I'm not gonna sit here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna sit here and formulate a cold brew just for a couple of months out of the year. Like, you guys are crazy.
I do cold brew collabs for when I do like live concerts. If I go to a
Yeah,
fest
there you go. There you go.
just because for one, it gives my straight edge people something to carry around, look cool,
Exactly.
not just water. And then it's just easy because you can batch it, you can put it in cans. Like it's a good solution to doing a fest where I don't have to bring pour overs, I don't have to bring equipment.
Yeah.
I bring a big
Well, yeah.
cooler
Then
of
you got to
cans.
worry about your ice. You got to worry about all this stuff because who the
Exactly.
like I'm that's our next step. Speaking on that is to really start working with festivals and be the option, not have a vending booth, but be the option for coffee at the venue for that weekend, for that night, for whatever it is, and especially people like I'm really, because we're local and everything, in California, I want to really work with Aftershock. They're later in the year. We don't even have to do any iced coffee. You can, I'm not really too big a fan, but we can batch it. Even, if we do the Gucci, you should, if you got a homie with the ice, Mr. Coffee, I brought it over to my buddy's house. I used his Bodum, grinder, put it in his Mr. Coffee, and it was still so good. So I'm like, yeah, we can do this. I would love for Blegh to be that. I want to come out with an Aftershock blend. Like I'm tasting a lot of honey lots right now, so they better get up quick, man, because I might come out with these just myself. These are real good, man. I got a Kenyan honey that I'm looking at.
Wow.
They're on the search. I think we talked about this last time for a Koke honey for me.
Oh yeah.
Is Brandywine Roasters did one for one of the fellow drops. I'm looking for one. I'm like, I want to do one a little bit differently, but that's a good one.
That would be wild. The honey Kenya thing hasn't caught on yet, because it's mostly like Costa Rica. Those Central Americans are big in honey right now.
Well, what's funny is a lot of those coffees, you have to put peach maceration in. You have to do these things to get these notes to compete with these Ethiopian coffees, with these these Kenyan coffees that are expressing these, absolute bonkers notes just naturally. Just natural. Even a washed Ethiopian is it can be just as fruitful and forward as some like a Costa Rican honey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. And I love the adaptation. It's just like watching the music scene. A big band comes out. Like, man, I can't wait to see how like people start kind of adapting to Knocked Loose's new single that came out. There's definitely gonna like that. That was a beautiful piece of music, and just like when Will Ramos came and just flexed his nuts on Into the Hellfire, things change and people adapted.
Yep. It was like overnight, like deathcore turned all symphonic.
Oh yeah. Overnight, everybody was Dimmu Borgir again. Like it was just so fun to watch. Like that was my absolute noise as a child. I love symphonic metal, dude. I love symphonic music. I think it's dope. And now you're going to add some core elements into this. Like y'all are making me so happy. I think I said this last time. Wouldn't it be so fun to go back in time and like open up a portal to like a bunch of like teenage black metal heads from like our teenage years and just be like, metalcore makes the best black metal around in the 2020s and just close it back up and just, oh man, they'll have them lose their mind piece. Like, dude. Yeah.
But then, I mean, that was my one gripe back when everybody was on the Dimmu Borgir. It was like, it's so much and it's really good, but it's just so the same. Like it's so continuous. And what I like
Yes.
about the deathcore going symphonic and incorporating blackened elements is you get so much dynamic and like
Mm.
change and variation. So that's what I like because I love breakdowns, obviously.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
But
like Black Dahlia Murder, we would be nowhere without, you know, Black Dahlia
change
Murder.
change the game.
They did. And what was funny was I originally thought they were a black metal band. I told this thing, you know, I was a young kid. I was like 8th grade, I think, when I first found them and stuff, 7th grade, something like that. So I knew metal and all that since like, you know, elementary, but you know, you're just coming into your own at this point. And I offended him so bad. And like, I always held that true that Black Dahlia Murder is the best black metal band to ever be. Like they're more sinister sounding. Their lyrics are just insane, so dark, so he can sound like something from the depths of hell or something so decrepit like a goblin wizard, you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah
there's nothing like that out there. There's nothing like that. Like I love my black metal. I got raised on Mayhem and Burzum and all that other stuff, but you know, it's funny because I use this analogy for a lot in life. Like if I don't want to go somewhere because I don't want to deal with the people there, like I want to go to this event, but I know the people that are going to go to this event, and I really don't want to be around a bunch of people like that. I always say, it's like Disturbed, you know? Of course, we all want to go get down with the sickness, you know what I mean? But then you have to be around a bunch of Disturbed fans. It's the same thing with black metal. I love y'all. You're my friends. You know, a lot of my friends are still black metal kids, but come on, guys. Let's all be friends. Can we put the core and metal thing to rest finally for once?
Yeah, it's a spectrum, right? Let's blend together. So give me the reason why coffee, why Blegh. Connect these dots.
You know, we kind of said it earlier about like, you know, there's a bunch of factors. I love the scene. Love the scene. I think that anything I can do to give back and to show my passion and to bring good shit into it, you know, for people to connect with, I think that's the main goal in life, right? Is to connect with people through your own production in a sense, whatever that may be, any kind of art, any kind of work, engineering, anything can be, you know? So I love coffee. So like through and through. I worked in cannabis for a lot of my life, and especially when I'm working in accessories or with actual products, you do testing, and when you do testing, you get extremely high. And when you get extremely high and you need to fill out all these, you know, test sheets, like these, to basically write an essay on the cannabis or the vaporizer that you're working on, it's frustrating because you can't think. So you drink a lot of coffee. And then after a couple of years, you know, like I've been in cannabis since I was 17. I'm 34 now, and it became more about the coffee. I'd get really stoked because if I knew I was going to be testing, I'd go pick up some wild ass coffee. You know, I'd go to Fellow really quick and get me a couple bags of something nice so I could be really stoned, and then be like, oh yeah, this might go well with that tree I'm about to be getting. Cool, sweet.
Oh my God.
That passion kind of fell off. You know, I have kids, multiple kids. I can't be. I'm already not there enough, you know, like just being ADHD and being hella baked all day just wasn't conducive in my life. Mm-hmm. And when we had our second kid, I just said, fuck it. I need to do this. I've been building other people's businesses for a decade. I finally want to do what I want to do. And the talk slowly went from putting out a cannabis thing, which I could have done just as easily, to just saying fuck it and finding somebody to you know, like finding people to do coffee and finding a company and finding a reason and finding a niche. And it all just fell together so funnily, in a sense. Like me and my creative officer and an early member just kind of put it out there. And I started just kind of messing with the social media, and it hit. Not with our friends and family, just them, but with random people. We started getting orders in, and it just we started kind of cackling about it, and we put some juice in, and, you know, actually started getting to work on designs and doing that. And it's flowing, you know, the tap's going. But my main reason is I just want to give back, and I want to show my love for this scene. And, you know, just like any other person on this earth, I want to spend more time with my family. You know, I want to only do the things I love. And I'm not saying that anybody can get out here and do this, but guys, if you have the fucking drive, if you think you can skin your teeth enough to stay in the game and get it done, there's ways to do anything you need for pennies on the dollar and to get out there and just to do your passion. You know, you don't have to be working under somebody. You don't have to do anything. But I'll tell you that starting your own project is frightening. It's terrifying. You know, I got a lot of shit riding on me every single week. Not only in the business, but in my personal life, you know, so I have to juggle a lot. And a lot of people say they want to be a CEO, you know, and because they just think they're going to sit in a room and make these fucking bird's eye 300 miles up from space ass decisions. Just be, yeah, oh yeah, I text my marketing team and my creative officer at 2 a.m, you know, like fucking be like, but I'm still laying out the groundwork most of the time. You know, I'm still going out and doing all this stuff. I'm doing everything. I'm worrying about the business 24/7.
Right.
I don't sleep. I don't stop working. Only time I'm not working is because I have a crying ass baby in my arms. You know, like, I don't get to do anything. So don't start a fucking business thinking you're just going to sit there and get to do all these ideas. No, you have to do everything you want and all the shitty parts to go along with it, you know, but don't stop. That's all it takes. If you don't quit and you keep going and you treat your fans nice, you'll find a way to make it happen.
Right. Fucking great advice. I know that for a long time when I was like, my dad started and owned and sold businesses and things like a couple of times. So I've definitely seen the 24/7 nonstop. So even literally when I started
sweating,
getting
looks at his phone and automatically starts sweating for no fucking reason. And it's just like, why am I so scared of this call? You know, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all on you. It's all on you. You know, I have my marketing team. They're Adam from Dropout Kings, homie does wonders for the business, but he's always gone, you know, so I don't mind. I'll step in and I'm sitting there dealing with the day-to-day on the marketing. You know, our social media manager and photographer, she photographs for big bands, big ass bands. You know, like same thing. Hey, you're on light duty this week. That's totally fine. You know, just help me come up with some ideas. And if you need me to post on the platforms, just let me know. Right. You know, it's about having being the big man in the seat, you know, means that you have to do everybody's job, because if you don't do it, you know, you're the last guy, you're the last rung on the ladder. Right. You know, like you always get stepped on first and last. So if you don't do it, it doesn't move. So you got to do it, you know, and my creative, he can shit out designs like no one's business, you know, but it doesn't matter. You know, he's still got a day job. He's really important over there too. And it's working with creatives, you know, is just a hard thing in general. Right. Very hard thing. You know, I like to consider myself an artist, but I realize that I would consider myself a creative person, but am I a creative at my core? Not really. Right. Not really. You know, I'm much more linear. And I get blocked way too easy. Like watching like my creative and even my media team kind of like get to work, and even when they ask me to build an asset, you know, they tell me the exact parameters of what they want, and I can put it together real nice. Like anything you see on the social media, most of the time it was me building it. You know, like creative does the logoing, the labels, the big heavy work, and then I just slap stuff together and, you know, like create the framework for something while they can flesh it out. You know, like what you would think of a CEO, but it's more intense than what people think. It's way more intense. You don't just get to be some fucking asshole in a chair ever. Ever. Sell the business if that's what you want. You know what I mean? Sell the business, buy a fucking chair. Go sit.
So where does the streetwear come into play?
Yo, I mean, me and my chief of creative, Josh fucking Tyler, man. Me and this man have been trying to do this since we were kids. Since we were fucking kids. Like, we've always loved, you know, like the fashion aspect of our scenes and everything like that. And oh man, it was just going to be coffee, but I have a huge bone to pick with what we call streetwear these days. Okay. I think that a lot of these younger generations, they dress like JCPenney catalogs from when we were fucking kids. and they're calling it streetwear when they're wearing $500 shoes, when they're wearing hell expensive shit. And that's not what streetwear was. Streetwear was shit from like Zoomies and fucking even Hot Topic and all these things where it was tight, but it was a $25 t-shirt. A pair of Trip jeans or something, Jinkos, like that would be fucking expensive, but they're made to last. You know, they're not, and they're not outrageous. They're nowhere near high fashion prices. It is the antithesis of high fashion. And I hate that we're bringing this $200, $300 sweatshirt into what we call streetwear. You know, I know how they're made. Don't fucking lie to us. Shut up, dude. Shut up. Just shut up. You're not doing anything special. You know, all you're doing is, I get it, make your money, boo boo. And if you have that type of clientele, that's great, but that's not who I'm attracting. You know, I want the parents to pick this up for the kids because they think hey, that's a good deal. You know, like I know he's probably just going to go skate it or get it ripped up in a mosh pit, but who fucking cares? You know, it's still a good deal. Like just like, to be carried in like Zoomies or something like that would be like a dream come true. I used to work at it. I loved it. You know, like if you didn't work at a skate shop as a kid, man, I feel bad for you. I really do. That was one of the best experiences of my life, you know, like, and so streetwear has always been really heavy on me. And I just wanted to bring that classic feel back and have like, kind of like our own little refuge, you know, and what we were talking about the other night was we have this perfect balance between the board, me, Josh, and Adam. Like I am 100% still just like an old like scene kid. You know, I wear a black Gildan hoodie because it's super aggressive most of the time. I have a couple oversized fits, but I like my super aggressive, can still show off my studded belt type fit, skinny pants, band tees, and like a backwards fucking hat. You know, like I am still a little scene kid. That's just, and I love that. I love that basic and aggressive look. My chief of creative, he's really into like more of like the tech and like the goth fashion. He's gender fluid and like really just fucking pulls off literally anything he puts on, and it's fucking hilarious, right? Like man will show up in a crop top and a skirt and you won't even realize it until like an hour goes by. You know, like
natural. Yeah.
He's natural at it. Yeah. And then our Adam, you know, you see his style over social media. He's got the sick ass button ups, a little bit of chain wear and shit like that. He's a little bit more flossy and everything. And I think when we put our heads together, we do make sick shit. Our first drop where it's all three of us putting our heads together is coming out, and I love it. I think it's like a perfect mix of all of us, and it's tight. I'll send you over some stuff, man. Ooh. It's really cool. So yeah, I think I just, on the streetwear thing, we have a perspective that nobody else is doing, in my opinion. You know, so I think it's fun.
Yeah, I love your statement about like the oversized $300 hoodies and things like that, because I remember when the term streetwear, when I first heard it, it was like Diamond, like it was skate brands, right? So like before that, it was like Obey.
The Obey, I don't care what anyone says. Obey can do no wrong to me. Shepard Fairey's a genius.
I'm the biggest Obey proponent,
right? Yeah, ever. It's just part of our micro generation, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I mean, but then you got Lurking Class out there doing double-sided prints with the sleeves done on a long sleeve, and they're still charging okay prices.
That's like a $30 shirt, honestly.
Yeah, for their long sleeve, it's about $35-$40. Yeah, printed all over. We were able to successfully, with Diamond and a couple of like Pink Dolphin and all these guys, they successfully brought a little hood into streetwear again, which didn't really happen anywhere but hardcore at that time. You know, like especially out of the Bay Area, we were all about our thugcore. So, you know, like we had Animosity even, who weren't even thugcore, but they put out thugcore ass designs. So we'd have these gangster ass things. And so I really enjoyed that bridge, right? I started seeing like a bigger variety of people starting coming into Zoomies, which was awesome. I love when people are feel like, you know, like they may be niched in a culture, but they're allowed to now explore because of that. You know, like when emo rap, whatever we want to call that, came out, you know, like Suicide Boys and Lil Uzi Vert and all that kind of stuff. Like, I love these guys. I think they're more like a lot more punk than a lot of people out today.
City Morgue is by far my favorite.
Yeah. And when they came out, I think it gave a whole generation of kids who loved hip hop like a chance that a lot of people we grew up didn't have, and that's expression of feelings and exploration into yourself and everything. You know, I will say one thing, that we went from seller's music to buyer's music, and I'm not really a fan of that, because I mean, Definitely like my old school, like 3-6 Mafia and shit, you know, like we have the drugs. You want the drugs. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that type
Yeah,
mentality.
it's very much yeah, we lost the whole like
Yeah, I think it kind of changed the
true
outlook
to
of a
your
generation.
yeah, like you're writing music or you're putting out product for a specific audience instead of doing
Yeah.
something that you like and having the audience come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, with SoundCloud and all this stuff, it breeds so much variation, right? Like a huge spectrum of itself, like of this DIY artist. And I'm proud that they have that too, you know, because that they don't have punk basements like we do. They don't have fucking hardcore venues that's just somebody's backyard or, you know, farm shop. They don't have that kind of stuff. But now they had a refuge for these people to get seen by everybody, to have that support, to have a DIY scene. And it was really fucking cool. Yeah. Really fucking cool.
Some whack shit on there, but in the midst of all of that, there were some gems.
What do you think about these kids? Just like, because I'm tattooed. I kind of broke a couple rules about, you know, like traditional placement and everything like that. I went farther down on my arms than I should have first before I got, you know, like some of the uppers done. But, you know, like there's rules to it. You know, you're supposed to start on your chest and you move out, right? And getting your arms done, hey, cool. That's just a thing. Sleeve it up, bro. Sleeve it up. Let's go. But these kids just going off and getting face tats at 18, it just terrifies me.
That's commitment that I'm not willing.
Exactly. I got trust issues, homie.
Yeah, I'm not
I got money problems I need to deal with first.
I need a job.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to get a session done next month, and we were just talking about, like, you know, I got a milestone. I'm gonna get my logo, like my B, like under my eye and stuff like that. But at a milestone, he's like, hell yeah, that'd be fucking sick. And you know, like I got this, so I can't get a job, but I have to do this. Oh, I get the motivation, homie. I get it. But you could do a couple of little steps first, you know, to like kind of make sure that you're stuck in this, not like destroy your face. My main thing is your grandparents dead? Because I'm not trying to get it cut off by my grandpa, you know, and I'm not going to let my grandma see it.
Right. If I roll up,
I wanted
like
Frankenstein bolts right before they die, like, you know, before they died and everything, like actual Frankenstein bolts, like the anchors.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they lived until I was a fucking full functioning adult. You know, right? It stopped me from a lot of stupid shit. But what you do, once again, you know, if you shit, there's 20-year-olds out there that are making more money than we can ever fucking fathom. You know, if you would have told us at 20 years old, homie over here is making $3 million a month, I would just ask him, you know, like, where does he go? Peru, Colombia, you know, like the desert, you know, there's some stimulant here that they're selling, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then, like, you know, a lot of kids, possible. When crypto came out, a lot of these like 20-year-olds were, you know, a bit like teenagers
getting their parents to sign up for a wallet for them.
Yeah, it was at the dollar when it was dollar to dollar.
Yeah.
And now they've all got, you know, portfolios.
Insane amounts. Yeah. Yeah. I know a realtor down in San Diego that I met at a coffee shop one time, and we got to talking because we were sitting there waiting, and then just ended up making each other laugh for a second. And I was asking him, you know, about his clientele, and he's like, dude, all this week I'm dealing with like people that are 6 to 8 years younger than me. It was right after the crypto boom, you know, like the GME boom and everything like that. So you know, he said that he was dealing with all his rent, like all his beach properties were going faster than he can deal with. And it was all sub 25. Just, man, I hope, you know, that a lot of that is, though, it's parents instilling into their children young, you know, but YouTube can say whatever the fuck you want, but instilling in your children young, you know, like the value and what you have to do and to be creative and to find other options to make money. I don't like fucking gurus. I hate them. A lot of the time. I think that I was a salesman for a decade. I'll take bits and parts from every single one of them, but none of them know the truth, you know, because every person is different. It's just good to have these tools in your pocket. But one thing that I really live by this statement is it's easier to make another 10K than it is to fucking save it any day. In this market and today's whatever we have with all the options out here, it's easier to make another 10K.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a bunch of shit. You can make a fucking podcast and talk to assholes like me. You know, it'll catch.
That's what sounds. My 10K is coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that sound out right now. That's like, here's how I make another a 5K passive income per month. I don't do that. I don't even know what it means or whatever. This shit cracks me the fuck up, dude. Oh, like, yeah. Don't ever. Hey, yo. Children, adults, dogs, cats. I don't care who the fuck is listening. There's no such thing as passive income.
No, there is not.
Oh, God. Passive income means you literally sit on your ass and money comes in. No. You gotta fucking put the effort in up front at least. You know, and if you want to build,
I could have just had shipping scams, right? Like there's doing a business where you incorporate drop shipping as part of it.
Yeah.
But then there's like these passive income drop shipping where you still have to make a fucking design. You still have to place it on the product. Like there is work there.
Yeah, true passive income only comes from one thing, and that's having a lot of fucking money and knowing where to place it.
Inheritance.
You know, like for me, passive means that I could set it and forget it. There's nothing you can set and forget. A drop shipped item, it's gonna run out. They have a shelf life. You know, they're not gonna fucking be as hot as they were 3 months ago. You're gonna have to find a new product and start from square one.
There's market trends. Like
the stock market, bro. That's risk. That's risk. I was working with this dude when, fucking the GME first started, right? And he put 2K in one night and called an option. Barely understood it. Came back, it was 6K the next month. Came back, it was 20K. Didn't see him the next day. You know? Like, that's how it is. But the man didn't sleep. I texted him like a week later. Where the fuck you go, man? You know, because we exchanged numbers and stuff. We smoked in the middle of the, you know, like we were contracted by this company. Fucking, he was tech and I was the biz dev guy. We both knew. Oh yeah, we just walked out, didn't even say a word. So like we both walked out front. He's like trying to smoke. I was like, oh yeah, that's why I followed you. He's like, I followed you. You know, so he just, and yeah, it was so funny. He barely knew anything about it, but he didn't sleep. He lost a lot, and he said he fucking, you know, like he almost wrecked his family. Mm-hmm. By the time it was all done, he's like, yeah, I still came up, but I went from like 200 G's back down to like about 10 grand above what I put. And my wife said she's going to fucking leave me if I didn't take it all right now. So I ended up taking a loss after taxes, you know? And he's like, it was only a little tiny bit, but bro, I almost lost my whole fucking family, you know? And like, that's another thing right there, bro. Like if you don't have to put in work, it's going to stress you out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
that means you have no control over it.
No control.
So
no. Yeah, I don't do things that I don't have a direct handle on. You know, when it comes to my money, I don't go gamble. I've been to Vegas so many fucking times on conventions. I played at a lot of tables, but it's on my company's or somebody else's company's fucking dime. You know, I'm not over here spending my own money on shit like that. No thanks. I've been playing cards since I was a child, but no,
I don't gamble.
I suck.
Well, let me know what Blegh has coming up. Things that give me the plug.
All right,
this is your time.
Man, we're doing some cool stuff right now. So we're doing that Blegh contest. That's going to be really rad. We're going to be doing after that. How do you enjoy your Blegh contest? Because we understand not everybody's got a fucking set of pipes on them. Even if they do, not everybody's willing to do that. Mm-hmm. But show us how you enjoy it. Make me a funny video. You know, make us laugh. Show us some, like, if you got a good setup, yeah, dude, give us some sweet coffee porn footage. You know, I don't care. It's just going to be fun to see what people send in. Shit in the bag for all I care. If you got to drink it, though. Yeah, you guys said, how do you enjoy your Blegh? So if you shit in the bag, got to drink it, sir. Man. Or other. Please don't. Oh, God. I can already see. See, we were going to do this thing called Masher of the Month, but we had decided to not to because we didn't want another mad against us or anything like that. You know, we don't want to upset anybody, and we don't want to condone absolute violence, you know, like on a monthly basis. It's just not, we love the carnage hardcore shows. I mean, that's why we go to these things. Right. But we're not out here telling people to go hurt each other. You know, even like on like Jackass and stuff like that, or anything like that, they'd say like, please don't send in your stunts. You know, please don't endanger yourselves for our sakes. The same thing, guys. Like, have fun, be cool, but don't be out there endangering for any fucking company's sake. We don't know you. We can't. It's not that we don't care about. We can't because we don't know who the fuck you are, Jim Bob. Like, fuck. And so, but on the coffee side, I kind of hinted it earlier, homie. We're stepping into a new level on the coffee. I slashed half our coffees off the list. You know, I felt if I was to give you, you know, my Way Tenango, if I was to give you my any of my other, like the brews I slashed off the list, the Tamana, you would be able to make an absolute great cup that you'd be able to rave about. But you have all the brewing options, all of the equipment to make it good, and the knowledge behind, okay, that you cup it once and be like, all right, I probably need to do, you know, like a higher temp, and then, you know, like actually like work on the extraction, you know, through to get these cherry nougat beautiful flavors that I can get, but not the fucking average Joe. And that's who I'm really selling to. I know that it's metalheads buying my coffee. I haven't really forayed into actual specialty coffee heads because y'all scare the fuck out of me. I make one wrong move and y'all are going to beat my ass. Like I'm at a fucking ceremony show in like the early thousands. Homie, it's like, hey, fuck me up.
The violence era.
Yeah, dude. I had a chance to go to the show, the Berkeley show that's all over YouTube. I had a chance. I didn't go because I was a young fool in love.
So stupid. No.
I know. I didn't know. You didn't. That's another thing. Like you don't know.
You never know when that moment
until they're gone. You never know until they're gone, right? But yeah. So Blegh also, we're looking at a lot of honey lots, a lot of stuff that's just gonna. No matter how you do this, Mr. Coffee or you know, like a Slayer, you're gonna be able to just get absolutely punchy, wild notes that most people haven't tasted before. I'm looking for this one Kenyan, man, that tasted like just no, it was Rwandan. Sorry, that tasted like a cup of honey. It's like dried figs and raw honey, and it was just crazy, you know. And that's gonna kind of be our. I'm hoping to bring it in on a daily basis. And then, on the streetwear side, we've been doing some cool stuff. So awesome summer drop that's coming really soon. It should be out by the time this is out. It should be pretty rad. We got like a vaporwave design. Nice. And just a really classic like death. We're going to start leaning into it. We hired my tattoo artist and like renowned tattoo artist. He travels all over the country, you know, to guest spot, goes to all these conventions. You know, he's cool. Like all his homies him and his homies are just like well known. He's going to be doing us some designs. He's going to be doing like a little anime death like design. Should be pretty sweet, you know, because he's got this like creepy cute type feel to him when he wants. It should be really nice. Yeah, and we're going to kind of lean into the death, but keep it fresh. You know, it's going to kind of be our avatar. But we're always going to be looking for artists that do it in a way that people haven't seen before, or just, you know, like a classic, wow, to the T, bad motherfucker. Old Dirty Dermot. We're looking at him too as well. He does some bad stuff, some really cool, like vector style, old school, like rat rod type graphics. We're just exploring, you know, on the streetwear side as well. We're finally at a place where we could kind of just pick what we want to do a little bit. And everybody just wants to dig in. Marketing's gonna start doing some bigger pushes. You know, so you guys will start seeing us around a lot more, which is nice because before they came around, I don't know if you've ever messed with like trying to build an audience for your ads or anything like that on social media. Homie, I had to take a shower after every time because I'm sitting there like literally sweating and shaking. My wife's coming out to me. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm just like, "No, wasting money," like freaking out, about to cry, like.
Right.
So now that we have a proven system, I'm not just like shitting into a can and hopefully it turns into gold and we're going to be able to, you know, have you guys see us, which would be nice.
Yes.
Get our name out there. So yeah, it's big moves, big ass moves. You'll be most excited about the coffee. I'll actually probably be hitting you up on the back end, seeing what you think. Maybe send you some like mystery beans.
Yeah. Would be actually sick, is if you did send me mystery beans and then after I try it, send you what I think.
Oh, hella down. Do a blind tasting. Yeah, buddy.
There's some
I'm going to
content
send you
in there.
something from like, from like fucking like Guatemala that's gonna taste like a freaking like something from Africa just to fucking throw you off.
There's content there. There's content that can be
There's
made.
a lot. There's a lot there. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what comes out because I know Adam came on recently.
Yeah.
And then
he's been a joy, man. He knows everybody. So it's
right.
The things that I thought were aspirations, you know, are just now just in a back pocket. You know, expect some crazy coffees to come out with. I'm not going to say what I really want to say because it's, you know, still kind of just waiting for the right moment. But I'll say I can't wait to look back and think about all of this all in a year.
There we go.
Shh. If you caught that drift, shh. Yeah, there's something crazy is going to happen, which is great. Yeah, we're going to get places. I promise you that. We're currently designing Dropout Kings clothing again. They were going to do a regular line. The swimwear was cool. We liked it a lot, but we want to. I love doing tees. You know, it's my thing, or long sleeves and stuff like that. So I can't wait to get my hands dirty on those designs, and that should be really cool. They pulled my arm, dude. They pulled my arm hella hard, like 3 or 4 meetings of us talking about their coffee and them just being like, dark roast. I'm sitting there like telling them literally like, fuck you. No, fuck you.
No, dark roast.
We found one that might work.
Really?
Yeah. It's like an African trio. It's very good. It's very good. It can be roasted dark. It's very good. Even I like it. And I can't stand anything past a medium. Oh, when you start talking about cities, you're making me like gag. But this is good. This is good. And there's a lot of I get it. There's a lot of people that like dark roasts, and especially in our culture, you know, they don't know coffee, so that oh yeah, dark's what I like. They don't. That's I did a 30% off my Gucci because it's my lightest roast, and I said we're so confident that's going to change your opinion of what you think you know about coffee that we're giving you 30% off this week. You know, and it's catching. I'm really hoping that we get a positive reaction because I love that. Any friend that like they're talking about like, oh, I take all this, I take all that, I take this in my coffee, and I just like I'm sitting there like, making them a cup of black Gucci out of the AeroPress, and I hand it to them, and they're like, you know, give the stank face at first, and to watch their face just change into absolute joy. That's
my favorite.
That's why I do it. Yeah, you're just sitting there, good, ruined your life. Good.
Yeah, like opening.
Start dreaming about $500 grinders. Yes.
Opening the door to the rabbit hole. Let me just go ahead and push you down.
Harsh. Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what comes out, like you said, in the next year.
Big collabs, big collabs coming out, which is sweet. A lot of movement on the back end. You know, it's going to be, I think we're going to have a lot of doors open up to us very soon. We're in talks with some pretty big people. Anyone listening, if you or anyone you know works for a brewery or an ice cream shop, let us know. Let us know. We want to do, of course, you know, like an coffee ice cream. But man, I want to do a coffee stout so bad. Yeah. Brewing beer, I started doing even before I started growing pot. My uncle was a brewer, and yeah, man, I love the science behind it. I used to live in Chico right next to Sierra Nevada. And every time they'd get those hops wet, man, it's just like, it was the best smell in the world. You know, I love it. Everyone's like, it just smells so weird. And I'm just sitting there like,
smells good. It smells like
falling asleep almost.
Baking bread. And then like when the hops get added in, it's just like this nice, bright, floral citrus.
Yeah. Well, no, you get like a really like matty, heavy, almost not skunkish, but like, you know, dense breadish type of like feel to the air even. And if you're close enough, and it's so nice to me coming like, cause we used to do it in a barn, you know, that thing was,
we do it in my apartment.
That thing was hot.
My wife brews.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What do you guys do?
She just has like a 5-gallon mega pot.
Sick. I might have to send you guys some beans if you guys want to do a stout, actually.
She does. She hasn't done a stout yet, but I've been begging for a coffee stout.
They're easy.
but she's
comparatively to
done
everything else.
mostly IPAs.
I'm from California. I like my IPAs, but I don't get the fascination with them. I never really have. I like them, but now, man, they're almost 35. It's really hard for me to get through a sixer of an IPA.
I'm a Pilsner person.
I'm a Pils guy. Not Pilsner, Pils.
Give me a crispy Czech Pils.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or a Kolsch.
Colorado. My favorite is there. It's my favorite crisp little beer there. It's Summertime Slammer. It's by True, called Cold.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best beers I've ever had. I still love my stouts. I'll drink anything you put in front of me. Of course, I'm a beer geek, not a beer snob. Just like coffee, I'll try anybody's coffee. I love it. I like to get shit beans and try to make them good. Like, it's just part of the fun, right? But yeah, my all-time favorite has always been a stout. Call it sipping my Irish ass family's beer my whole life. But yeah, that's always been my thing.
I've been doing cream ales recently too.
If they're done right, they can be very refreshing. If they're done wrong, it's so disjointed and so disconnected. It's like drinking a cream soda and a beer at once. It's just like,
yep. Yeah.
There's people in California that have been doing one since I was a kid. It's really good. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry guys, but it's really fucking good. I like that shit. Yeah, man. Like I said, any brewery listening, True, please hit me back. Please. Anybody in California, we got you too. We're looking for breweries or businesses that align. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to push into stores and boutiques. I'm really nervous about cafes because I don't want them charging $5 extra on a latte just because it says Blegh on the bag. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to control that and not be one of those companies that, we're talking about earlier on the street where I hold the same on the coffee end. I'm not going to be out here trying to charge you guys $80 for a 10-ounce bag of some amazing coffee, but I could probably get you something pretty similar for $22 for 12 ounces. And y'all want to know the difference. Mm-hmm. I do love my Geshes. I'm not above going out and getting some Benny Paz here and there and stuff like that. Of course. But do I expect everybody to? Do I want to be that company that expects everybody to? Not really. I like price accessibility. I think that's the way we're going to win in our niche is to make sure that everybody can afford a t-shirt, man. Everybody can go and afford a t-shirt, right? Like you come to our shit, you can get yourself a coffee, you can get yourself a shirt, and you can walk out and not regret it the next day. Just like fucking unlike any show we go to these days. Another thing about the concerts, I really want some price control on my items there. I don't want my coffees to be $10,
right,
for a batch brew. That better be $6 max. I get that's inflation for if we open up a cafe concept, it's going to be like a very price controlled area and stuff like that. So that's we're always going to strive. We're always going to strive to make sure everybody can enjoy our stuff. Right.
That's like the biggest thing is accessibility.
Yeah. We all know, bro. We're all metalheads. We all fucking, if it says donation only on the fucking show, guess what we're doing? We're putting $1 in, we all broke. And I don't want to say the name, but there was a comedian one time really irritated me. He went up on stage in a classic metalhead fit, right? Blue jeans, some Converse looking sneakers, and a Metallica shirt. This man is not a metalhead by any means. He's up on stage doing that. And I looked it up and the shirt was about $600. The shoes were $500. The jeans were a couple $100, and it's just like the emulation of this broke boy style. I get it. Delicacies of cultures are usually the things that are like peasant food, Same with fashion. I get it. Y'all like to be gritty. Rude boy fashion came from Jamaican immigrants.
Yep.
And what's funny is the racist took it over, which cracks me up to this day. But good thing we have Sharps out beating the shit out of them. Hell yeah, go Sharps. It's just, it just boggles me that people try to emulate that shit and just make it such a high price. Why?
Capitalism,
man. Well, they're not helping. You know, like you don't look cool. And there's what I mean. Like you don't look cool to me. You don't. I grew up on Irish rebellion music, right? Like my family is San Francisco Irish, very, you know, I'm way out generation wise, but we've kept that feel in our family, all these generations. And so I grew up on Irish rebellion music. You know, I always knew what St. Patty's was really about. And it kills me when people try to cover that stuff. Like, don't they cover whiskey in the jar can make me literally lose my shit. Like my brother would know that if he would put it on at a bar, somebody's gonna get yelled at. Like the nearest person to me that says they like this song, they're about to, what the fuck did you just say? You know, I'm a calm guy, but yeah, don't disrespect Elton John or Prince in front of me, or Eddie Van Halen, and don't call Whiskey in the Jar their cover by Metallica good in front of me. I love y'all, Metallica. I love y'all. Y'all changed the game and continue to do so, and you're huge. Stick to your music, please.
Well, Zach, this has been a lot of fun. I have one last question for you before we go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
For beans and breakdowns, I said this last time, and it'll fucking always be true. The Bay Area, son.
Hard.
The Bay Area. There ain't no place better. This is where the hotbed started for Northern California for hardcore. You know, we're a port. It's a big port type area, so we always get the freshest stuff. You know, for our area. There's, oh man, the shows out there are so fucking good still. They're so fucking good. It's amazing. If you really want to go further in, I would say Oakland. You know, you got Mimo's Coffee out there. They do some of the best Ethiopians on the block. You got all, like, you know, freaking the squares there, like everything in that city is just vibrant and full of culture. And it's just beautiful. It's dangerous. Fuck yeah. But every city is. Every city is, you know, but I'll always go. Sacramento as well. You know, it's just great. It's great. That's where the boardwalk was. I saw Terror and Trapped Under Ice. And one show there, it was brutal, you know, and Sacramento's got some pretty good beans. But yeah, best place for breakdowns, beans breakdowns as a total, Bay Area. Just so brutal there. So brutal. The fans of any niche, metal, hardcore, all that, they're true. They're true and true. Like they get down, they support, you know, and like we have a really strong, you know, if somebody falls down, you pick them back up. As gang as it was back in the day, you know, even with the fight after or anything like that, any misconception of the scene, you know, like unless there was a serious hatred between the two people, everybody got picked up, you know, and then they dealt with the beef. I would pick up people I didn't like, you know, like I didn't care, you know, so I don't want them to actually get life-changing hurt.
Yeah.
You know, but, we're down to hit you in the face. Don't
Oh no, straight up. Yeah.
I'm only second scared of the Bay. Seen the show or two in Reno. We don't, I can't, I'm broken now. I can't even go to those shows. I'm old and broken. I can't even step foot in those. Everybody's getting messed up at a Reno show, and that's how it should be. But I'm just too old. I'm in Ross retirement, you know, so.
Yes.
I can't go to those no more. Shout out to Reno. Shout out to Bay, though. You guys will always be the kings of this shit. You know, Sacramento, y'all are there too. Sorry, my dogs are going ape shit in the background.
It's all good.
Yeah, man. Great talking to you. I hope we get to do this again soon. I'll send you some mystery beans as soon as I can.
Likewise. I really appreciated it. Looking forward to seeing some new shit coming out soon. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Easy. Later, bro.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Zach for hanging out on the podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Blegh Coffee Co. You can find their website in the description of this episode. They have some great offerings of coffee as well as their merch, so be sure to give that a look. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.